Thank you so much for coming along today, and hopefully you will learn all about time management for creatives especially. Okay, so I just want to assure you that you are in the right place if you are consumed by the busyness of your life. You eager to develop a daily creative practice? Maybe you know that there's something missing in your life, and you know that that something is creativity. Do you want to find time for your art? Or you want to be better organized? Or you feel paralyzed and don't know where to start? Or maybe you feel isolated and you are tired of struggling all on your own. I want you to know that if you are stuck in any of these things, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to show you how to get there. And you also need to know that you are not alone in experiencing any of these things. To be a creative is to be plagued with challenges. Right, I would just like to tell you a little bit about myself. I want to give you some context in relation to what I'm going to show you today. So my name is Jocelyn Fries. I'm both an artist and a creativity coach, and I just want to share a little with you about how I got to where I am today. So I got to a point in my life where I felt like nothing was working. I was trying to get to my art each day, but to no avail. A business where I could use my talents and share my giftings with the world, but I just couldn't see a way of bringing it all together. I was starting to lose hope, actually, of ever seeing my dream a reality. After all, the clock was ticking. But don't get me wrong, I felt blessed in many areas of my life. I have a loving family, and I'm fortunate to be living in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, New Zealand. But somehow there was a part of me that was not fulfilled. Deep down, I knew I was here to serve others, and I knew it revolved around my core creative passions. Because of the busyness of my life, I found it so hard to get into my studio. Yet I longed for it. I could not understand why I just didn't make time for it. I knew I needed it. Looking back now, I realized that it was not just a time issue. There were many other things stopping me. First of all, my confidence was rock bottom. I feared having to show what I was doing. I was resistant to giving things a go in case they weren't good enough. And I was blocked, not actually knowing what I wanted to create. It was only through a series of events that I was able to progress past this paralysis. It was not a quick fix, mind you. It took place over a number of years and still continues to this day. I found myself in the company of a supportive group of like-minded artists, and I had a coach to guide me. I became accountable and was able to progress in my art making and start a business selling my art. And to top it all, I got to a point where I was compelled to give back and started my creativity coaching training, especially to help all the wonderful artists like you who want to follow their dreams. Because I value community and encouragement and support so highly myself, it was a given that I would want to provide this for others. And so the Artists in Action community was born. A collective where like-minded creatives share their struggles and triumphs, get 24/7 support from me as their coach, and very importantly, get their work done. So that's a bit about me. Let me just go over quickly what we're going to cover today. First of all, we're going to look at your foundations. Coping with distractions. building habits, and then the next steps you can take to get results. Can you relate to this? You love creating. You know it's an integral part of your living and breathing. You have no shortage of ideas. You really want to implement them. You plan it all out. You even promise yourself a start and finish date, but you just can't seem to ever get to it. You've tried to be consistent in your art, but can't seem to make progress on your creative path. You're frustrated at yourself and your circumstances, and you might even feel deflated. Right, so let's start with your foundations. I'd like you to get a piece of paper out and just write down what you want with your creative life. What is actually important to you? What is your purpose? Need meaning behind your art making to see you through. If times get tough, just having passion will not be enough. You need a stronger desire and motivation to keep going. So what does art mean for you? Is it maybe just a time out, a meditative practice? Maybe it's healing for you? Or maybe it's your voice in the world. Maybe you have something to say through your art. Reach out to other people through your art. So again, what do you want to achieve? What is your why? Without your why, you will give up far too quickly. When you struggle to manage your time, remind yourself of your purpose. If your purpose is defined and is strong enough, you will make time for your art. And yes, passion is not enough. Passion, you need purpose. So how important is this to you? How bad do you want this? A creative life. What will your life look like when you are able to create daily and find the time you need? To actually get into that studio. And what do you need to do today to make progress? Is this really a priority for you? So these are just some things you need to think about. You just need to get it straight in your mind what setting aside special time for creativity for yourself means. Okay, and how important it actually is for you. Okay, so some of the reasons why we stall. So first of all, as I said, we need to make our creativity a priority if we are to proceed with our creative dreams. You know why you want it. Hopefully now you've thought about those things. Is it time to shift it up to the top of your priority list? You need to let your purpose drive you. Not having the time might also be a procrastination technique in disguise. Just like it was for me, it might be related to fear, which shows up as resistance, because you might feel very vulnerable. Or sometimes we don't feel we're good enough or talented enough. All these things can make one put off getting stuck into your work. Okay, so coping with distractions. First of all, my advice to you, find the best time of day to create. Find the best space to create. If you have no particular sort of studio to work in, just find a little corner of a room or in your living room, wherever it is, that you can especially dedicate to creative work. This will make it much easier for you to actually get to doing it. Turn off your computer and your phone. Those are our classic distractions. Some of you might feel the need to actually work away from the home. When we are at home, there are many distractions, even if it is hanging out the washing or, you know, just the everyday life things that you're involved with. Okay, so you know what? I just need to take a little break now and run and get my battery. So if you can just hold on 1 sec, think about those things I've been talking to you about, and I'll be back in a mo. Okay, there I am again. That wasn't very well planned of me, was it? Right, where were we? Yeah, working away from home. For some of you who are maybe either a bit further along on your art journey, getting an income from it, you might consider hiring a space somewhere outside of the home. Okay, and another thing to think about is working with your distractions. Maybe you have little children. You could set them up alongside your art making and with their own little canvases and let them create while you do. You can even, you might find that your distraction could be an opportunity for inspiration. Okay, so building habits. Start small. You only need to commit 10 to 15 minutes per day to build a habit. Don't try and do a binge creating, okay? Finding you want a whole day free to be able to create or a few hours to be able to create, because that won't happen. Very unlikely. So just start with little increments each day. Just even if it's going into your studio to maybe organize a space or something, or organize a space on your living room table, whatever the case may be. Just start small. Okay, do your art at the same time each day. Maybe first thing in the morning would work for you, or at night when the children are asleep. Work out what time of day works for you and stick to that. You could set up a ritual or a trigger. For me, I pair my cup of coffee with creating first thing in the morning. So when I go to make my coffee, I know the next step for me is to head to my studio where I get my paints out. Also, what we can use is a timer. That can be a very powerful signal that it is time for the creative juices to flow. Having a start and end time that is realistic and doable, such as 10 to 15 minutes, is very helpful to get started. So once you have your timer on, it's almost like you have to get down and do your art. Stick to it. All right. Creating in the middle of things. So there is very seldom a perfect time to create. It's so easy, as you would know, otherwise I don't think you'd be on this call today. As you would know, there is always something else that crops up and that stops you from organizing your day and fitting your creativity into it. Okay, so because so hold the intention. That's what I was going to say. Hold the intention to create. Okay, we create because we're intending to create, not because we are wishing we would. Okay, use the but rule. Okay, sorry that sounds a bit strange, but often we don't maybe feel like creating, or we have something else we feel we should be doing. Okay, so this is how it goes. You say to yourself, I don't feel like creating, but I choose to anyway. Or I don't have time to create, but I choose to anyway. So whatever you come up with, put that little but in there, but I choose to create anyway. Okay, and intending to matter, know that you matter. Okay, knowing that will make all the difference, or knowing that what you create matters. And there we go back to our purpose again. Knowing what your purpose is matters, and that will go a long way in helping you create in the middle of things. Right. Okay. Whoops, did I? No? Okay. So, how to make it happen? Okay. So, there are some other crucial factors that play a part. Make sure your art is meaningful and that the desire is there. Okay, as I said before, without that meaning and purpose, the desire can come and go. All right, but if you have that meaning forefront as your reason for creating, that is when you will get to it. Okay, so are your goals realistic? The more unrealistic they are, the less chance there is of getting to them. Okay, if you set a goal of creating for 5 hours every day, the chances are, well, it might work for a day or two, but you'll burn yourself out that way. So set realistic goals. Do you have support around you? Are the others in your family supportive of what you do? If they are not, it might be a good idea just to sit down and with them and let them know of your needs, so that they can understand where you are coming from. Are you part of a like-minded community? Often creatives are so happy creating in their own little world that they don't realize that they can benefit from being a part of a community. Okay, there's all sorts of reasons to be part of a community, and whether it's part of a local art group or just having a few friends that you can get together with, even just for talking about topics that you're interested in, or even getting together to create with them. Accountability. This plays a big part in getting things done. Okay, if you have someone else that you could be buddies with, accountability buddies, that often helps to get things done. Okay, and on the same note, is there someone to cheer you on and to give you encouragement? All these things will help you to make it happen. Okay, so are you practicing creative self-compassion? So notice your thoughts. Are they putting you down? By becoming aware, you're able to recognize how unreasonable they are. Would you talk to yourself that way? Or would you talk to a friend that way? Remember, you are in charge of them, your thoughts. So choose to acknowledge them, and if they are not the best and friendliest of thoughts, in other words, negative thoughts, then you can dispute them and you can let them go. Okay, so align your thoughts with your goal, not your emotions. So if you are feeling down, take your thoughts back to the reason why you are creating. Okay, your emotions should not be governing how you manage your time. Recognize perfectionism for what it is. Celebrate your imperfectness. Okay, it leaves room to grow, takes the pressure off you. Just be gracious and kind to yourself. So, recognize negative thoughts are actually trying to protect you. Substitute them with kind words or thoughts, positive, relaxing thoughts. Okay, just love on yourself and approve of yourself. Write a list of reasons why you are deserving of giving yourself the creative space you need, why you can allow yourself creative time. Okay, we are often very guilty of giving of our time to others and not leaving any time for ourselves. Self-care is very important. Okay, so what if instead of the shame of not getting things done, instead of self-loathing, of giving up when you could really be making a difference, what if there was a way to bring this all together? A solution to your time management dilemma. Let me introduce you to Artists in Action. This is a supportive online community where you'll meet like-minded creatives in a small group environment. So imagine this. Imagine a place where you'll have 24/7 access to coaching. You'll belong to a group of like-minded artists who you can bounce ideas off and receive and offer encouragement. You'll have a place to connect where others understand the struggles you face. You can overcome your feelings of isolation. You can learn through monthly focus topics geared around success strategies and putting them into action. And you could even get monthly rewards to motivate your daily progress. So Artists in Action is not another course to complete. I know you're busy enough. In fact, you can use Artists in Action to strategically get your unfinished courses done. You'll learn how to implement, take action, and stick to it. So if you are serious about getting things done and getting results, you need daily accountability. Research has shown that having weekly accountability is not enough. It just doesn't solve the problems like daily check-ins do. In Artists in Action, we focus on taking small daily steps, manageable steps. You'll find this makes you more creative and more productive and gets you a better finished product. This can be especially helpful if you're working at a day job trying to fit your art projects in and around that. Okay, so just to let you know some of the things you'll experience in the Artists in Action community if you choose to join us. It has a group structure of up to 12 participants. We know that isolation kills creativity, so you don't need to go it alone. It's crucial to have support. For any of you that have worked with a coach before, you would have probably been restricted to weekly or even monthly contact. In Artists in Action, you will have 24/7 coaching support. And that alone is worth many hundreds of dollars. You'll get encouragement from other group members, which is invaluable and boosts morale. There'll be monthly focus topics based on what you want. This doesn't mean copious amounts of material to read. It'll be placed in the forums as optional reading, but you get it all at a reasonable price, plus all the other benefits of being in a group. Okay, so let's just take a little look inside or behind the scenes. So this is the progress log. Each day you'll come in, and each of those little ticks means those people have checked in. They have let me, the coach, and everyone else know what they got up to. And then the daily coaching questions, this is what they'll answer as they check in. Things like what are their goals for the day, and how many minutes did they spend doing their goals? Did they have any negative talk from their own mind? Any positive talk they could counteract that with, and how they're feeling, all sorts of things like that. And that is basically their check-in for the day. There's also a chat feature, and this is an area where you can have a private chat with one person in your group, or you can chat together with the others in your program, or even your program being your up to 12 people, or even site-wide. So we sometimes organize little working bees where we come in, check into the private chat, go away, work for 20 minutes, and come back and report what you've got done. Okay, coach and peer support. So that column on the right is where I would come in and be able to do a bit of coaching with you according to what you've commented for the day. And this is also an area where your other participants will come in and comment to either commiserate with you if you didn't get much done, or cheer you on, encourage you, and congratulate you. Okay, the discussion forums is another area where there can be some interaction. There's various topics you can either post yourself or I would post in the group. And yeah, there's areas where you can comment and have a discussion. We also have graphs available. So for any entries on your daily check-in that involve a numerical, like a number, like how many minutes did you work, or on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you feel today? That all gets put into your graphs. And after a week or two of your entries, it's really interesting to come and check your graphs and see how your progress has been. So there's other things like bar graphs and line graphs that you can use as well. Right, this is just a few words from Jo Dodds, who's been part of the program. She says, it gave me some real momentum and impetus to get stuff done, which was especially great given what I did was the stuff that I'd been most procrastinating on. I loved the accountability and support provided by the group. It was great to know we were each working on different goals, but also supporting each other to take small daily actions towards those goals. I wouldn't have achieved anywhere as much as I did without the program. And this is from Kelly Beischel. I often get started with a goal feeling strong, but unfortunately my energy and commitment usually wane. Since joining this program 2 months ago, I've accomplished more than I ever expected. I wrote articles regularly and created a program, both of which I had been procrastinating for months. Documenting our daily progress each day, as well as the encouragement from the coach and group members, were key to keeping me engaged. I would recommend this program to anyone who needs to complete important tasks that otherwise they tend to procrastinate doing. Right, okay, so it's not just another accountability group, it's much more than that. You get individualized attention and support of your coach. You get encouragement of your peers to cheer you on. You'll never be left to struggle on your own. You get daily accountability, set realistic daily goals broken into small doable steps, and a community that supports you. Okay, so I know that the moving and shaking doesn't happen when you're on your own. That's why I offer you a positive, supportive environment where you have a progress tracking system at your fingertips and where you'll learn success strategies to put them into use. And where you'll gain new habits of creative productivity. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure why you showed up today, but I imagine it would maybe you might have tried to manage your time and get organized without success. You might have had an accountability buddy, but found without daily accountability, it just didn't work. Or you want to start creating regularly, or perhaps you want to start marketing your work and you need a community that supports you. You will be warmly welcomed. I would love for you to join me. Each session lasts for 4 weeks, and it's just $97 for the 4 weeks with the option to continue after that. So I'd love you just to hop on over to newcreations.com/artistinaction, where you can read more, and I'd love you to sign up too. So every day you put off joining will mean a delay in making your creative dreams a reality. If your creative life is important to you, be sure to join us on our upcoming session that is starting soon. I really look forward to seeing you in the group. Just thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I hope you have got lots of tips and you will be able to implement them soon.